What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode. So, big week this week. Patriots free agency is upon us. The NFL is in a frenzy. Let's get right down to business. Okay, so some relatively good news for the Patriots this week. We did make a lot of moves. Starting with our own team, we re-signed a lot of important players. Hunter Henry, 3 years, $27 million, $7.5 million bonus. Tight end market this year, it's a fair deal, I would say. $9 million a year. And you get a locker room guy back. You get a captain that we had last year back on the team. He's a good red zone target. And my biggest thing with young quarterbacks is an important thing, I should say, is having a good tight end. They're easy targets for young quarterbacks, in my opinion, so I'm hyped about that. Kendrick Bourne signed another deal with us. 3 years, worth up to $33 million. Played great last year until he tore his ACL. It's looking like it's going to take some time for him to get back to full strength. That's usually how it goes. May not even be back to full strength until 2025, but still should see the field. We'll see if he's back to full strength. Regardless, our wide receivers were terrible last year, so he will contribute either way. Jalen Reagor. Speaking of terrible wide receivers that were on our team last year, he got a 1-year deal with a little bit more than the veteran minimum. Good depth addition, I guess, if you have injuries, whatever. He did have that kick return last year against the Bills, if you remember that. We're going to get at least 2 more wide receivers this offseason between signing, trading, and then in the draft, where I would say where it's pretty easy to assume we're going to get at least 2 more wide receivers. So he might get cut in training camp. We did give him a little bit of guaranteed money, though, which means to me that they value him as a depth piece on the roster, but just a quick little signing there. Josh Uche got signed for a steal, for a bargain. I don't know what's up with this, but I'm not going to complain. I did not think we were going to be able to re-sign Josh Uche. He's now back on a 1-year deal with $3 million. He can make his way up to $8 million with incentives. We're talking tackles, sacks, probably games played, something like that. So, honestly, even if he gets up to that $8 million threshold, it means he's helping our team, he's contributing a lot, and that's still a steal at $8 million. I like it. He was expected to have a breakout year this year. Didn't happen. He had 11.5 sacks in 2022 and only 3 sacks last season. So, his market was definitely not as strong as you thought it was going to be, hence coming back on a prove-it deal. I love it. Mike Onwenu. Back 3 years, $57 million, $38 million guaranteed, and a $22.5 million signing bonus. That's entailed in the $38 guaranteed. So you lock in, you solidify our offensive line, at least that one position, wherever he's going to play for 3 more years. What's interesting to me is he got paid like a top-end guard, which he proved to be, and then you look at that average annual value, and I mean, I would say that's like a good tackle, a really good tackle. So he could still play anywhere based off of this value. I think it is good value for both sides. So he gets his bag that he wanted, representing himself with no agent, and we get, wherever he's playing, a solid lineman. So it's a win-win, and really important. Probably our biggest re-signing outside of him. Looking who we signed from other teams. We got Chukwuma Okafor. If you haven't heard of him before, I mean, I don't blame you. He was on the Steelers for the past several years. He has 59 career starts. He signed an extension in after the 2022 season, but was cut last year from the Steelers in favor of their rookie, Broderick Jones, at right tackle. He's a low-end starter, high-end backup, So if he's starting for us, yeah, you can get upset, but I don't think we signed him based on the contract we gave him to be a starter. I think he's just like a fallback option, and he's better than any single one of those terrible linemen that Bill Belichick signed last year. I don't know what his deal was, but Bill Belichick clearly likes trash players to back up the O-lineman.
Oh, I love trash. Anything dirty or dingy or dusty. Anything ragged or rotten or rusty.
Another guy that we got, Antonio Gibson. And it's not a flashy name by any means, but I love this signing. It was 3 years, $11.25 million, so did not break the bank. He's your new third down back. Get used to it. He used to play wide receiver in college, and even in the NFL, he will split outside in the slot. And he just gives you great receiving value there. Sione Takitaki. Fun name to say. Good player. 1 year, $8 million. He was drafted by Elliott Wolf while Elliott Wolf was in Cleveland in 2019. He talked up a big game for Takitaki after he drafted him. He gives you a little bit of versatility. You're mostly going to see him line up on the inside. He'll be a backup inside linebacker, usually. But also has the ability to play outside linebacker, give you a little bit of edge ability there, rushing the passer. So good signing there. And then lastly, Jacoby Brissett. His name was attached to us for at least a week or two now as a backup. Listen, we're drafting a quarterback, most likely, I would say even 95% sure. Jacoby's either, whether they think a rookie quarterback is ready or not, Jacoby at 1 year, $8 million can be our starter. Is he going to be good as a starter? No, probably not. But like, he can get you wins. He can be competitive. He was drafted by the Patriots in 2016. That whole Deflategate year, he got a couple starts while Brady was injured. Obviously a lot different of a player now. He's more mature, can read defenses better. But he is that veteran backup, that bridge quarterback as we transition from the Mac Jones era into whoever we now draft. Good signing. Speaking of Mac Jones, our departures. Again, no surprise, Mac Jones is gone. It was in the news, speculating for months, I want to say. Since the end of the season, at the end of the Super Bowl, Mac Jones was probably on his way out. Finally happened. He got traded back to his hometown team of the Jacksonville Jaguars for a 6th round pick. So you get nothing for him. Yeah, he was he was doomed from the beginning. After his first season, at least, never got the help he needed. Dealt with different offensive coordinators every year. You had Joe Judge and Matt Patricia, who were special teams and defensive coordinators before, both chatting in Mac's ears with Bill in the back, saying his 2 cents. You can't succeed when you have that with a young quarterback. And he lost all of his confidence, started to perform terribly. So I wish him the best. Was he terrible for us? Yes. Last year was extremely tough to watch. There's no denying that. Can he turn it around? I think so. So I wish him the best. It just wasn't going to work out here. Good luck. Devontae Parker was released yesterday by us. We're going to have to eat $6.3 million in dead cap space, and we're saving next to nothing by cutting him. So that just goes to show, again, how terrible of a signing Bill Belichick made there. We're basically paying the Eagles for him to play for them. He just signed with them today. All that did was open up a roster spot for us, and then you started hearing the speculation of what the Patriots are going to do at the wide receiver position. All we were hearing was Calvin Ridley, T. Higgins, Mike Williams, Brandon Ayuk, a bunch of these names getting tossed around all day today. Calvin Ridley is supposedly deciding between us And the Jaguars, well, here's the thing. We're being used. We're being used out the wazoo right now by Calvin Ridley. The Jaguars, when they got Ridley, made a little stipulation in the deal with the Falcons. If they re-signed Ridley before the official beginning of free agency, which is tomorrow Wednesday, 4:00 p.m., they owe Atlanta a second round pick. If it happens after, then they only owe them a third round pick. So my guess is that we have a really good offer on the table for Ridley. Probably more than what the Jaguars offered, but he's waiting until after that period, and then the Jaguars will be like, all right, we'll give you the same amount the Patriots are giving you. And then he re-signs. And I really like Ridley. I don't want to pay more than $20 million a year for the guy. I don't think he's that special. I'd rather trade for someone than re-sign Ridley. Now, who can we trade for? Well, I just mentioned T. Higgins of the Bengals, Mike Williams and Keenan Allen of the Chargers, and Brandon Ayuk of the 49ers. Now, who's going to be the cheapest, both money-wise and what your compensation is, what you're giving up for them? I would say money-wise, probably Mike Williams, just because he's coming off a torn ACL. I said this on my channel. He's coming off a torn ACL, and he's getting older. Still a great jump ball guy, your true X-receiver. After that, T. Higgins, great option. He's only like 26 years old, I believe. Another guy plays very similarly to Mike Williams, true jump ball guy. And then you have Keenan Allen and Brandon Ayuk, who obviously don't need much explaining to do on the talent there. Ayuk, obviously like 7-8 years younger than Keenan Allen. Both Pro Bowlers, both All-Pro, both potential Hall of Famers, I'll say. So they're going to cost a little bit more to trade for, and the money that you're going to have to give them after trading for them is going to be through the roof. Do we have the money to spend? Yes. Is it worth it for a young quarterback? 100%. Got to give him weapons. I don't think we're getting Ridley. I think we're going to end up trading for one of these guys. Also have a need for offensive linemen. Two guys who've been mentioned all offseason so far, Jonah Williams of the Bengals and Tyron Smith, the future Hall of Famer that was on the Cowboys. They decided to let him walk. All day I've been contemplating between the two, and I've decided I'd rather Jonah Williams. He offers you more versatility. He played left tackle for 3 years, got moved over to right tackle last year, and did good at both. Tyron Smith is a true left tackle and the better tackle, I would say. The only problem is he's getting up there in age, and he may not be readily as available with injuries that he's had over the past couple years. Jonah Williams can play both right or in left tackle, so you can move him around, move Onwenu around between right tackle and right guard, and whoever you draft, most likely going to draft another tackle. You got pieces to play with there. Wherever they want to play, God forbid someone gets hurt, you can move people around. I think Jonah Williams would be a great sign. He's going to get a good amount of money. We're talking probably 10 to 12 mil a year. It's worth it. It is definitely worth it. On the defensive side, I was waiting for us to make a move for an edge rusher potentially, but we got that steal with Josh Uche, so that's not happening anymore. We are going to run back Judon, I'm assuming, with Uche. I thought of maybe the potential of getting rid of Judon and signing a better edge rusher on a longer-term deal with Judon being in the last year of his contract, but we're going to have to eat too much of his contract. It's not worth it, especially since he's still going to be a Pro Bowl caliber player, I'm assuming, next year. A position that we can sign someone on defense for is cornerback. Now, for me, it's on two options. Both corners that have had stellar careers with the Patriots already. First, Stephon Gilmore. He's 33, so he's no spring chicken anymore. But he's not going to be cheap either, I should say. But he would be well worth it. He's a guy that just knows his role, gets his job done, doesn't like to talk too much. He just plays tough football. He won Defensive Player of the Year with us not too long ago and could be an amazing mentor for Christian Gonzalez. When you have them two and you have Jonathan Jones, you're looking pretty good on defense in the secondary. Another guy who could also come back on a prove-it deal, I believe, just like Josh Uche did, is J.C. Jackson. Now, Bill, one of the few good decisions he made contractually was letting J.C. Jackson walk. The Chargers paid him a boatload of money, did not work out. We got him back last year for next to nothing. While the Chargers were paying off most of his money, we cut him to save all of that money remaining on his contract. But my guess is no one's going to really want to pay him too much. Why not come back here? We can give him a decent deal and prove it. He's not young. He's not super old, though. And see what he does. Why not? Then you're set at the secondary group. I want to introduce a new segment that I will be doing on a weekly basis now. It's called Intrigue Around the League. Okay, NFL free agency is on the way, and what way to correlate the Patriots to what's going on around the league? Well, the Commanders, second overall pick, because they were terrible just like us. But what are they doing differently now? Is they're signing players that weren't on their team the year before. Wow. 11 players they signed over the past 2 days. None of them were on their roster last year. Austin Eckler, 2 years, 11.43. Rumor on the street is they said 11.5, and he said, no, 11.43 or I'm walking. Besides that, Edge, Dorrance Armstrong, 3 years, $33 million, and Frankie Louvu, the former linebacker for the Panthers, on a 3-year, $31 million contract. Now the Falcons also just keep spending the money like it's nothing. They just gave Kirko Cousins, the 36-year-old quarterback, a 4-year, $180 million contract with $100 million guaranteed. Also, Darnell Mooney, their next good wide receiver to pair with Drake London and Kyle Pitts. 3-year, $39 million contract. They stole him from the Bears. Now, let's talk about the big boys that got paid, because there were a lot of them. The offensive guards today. Onwenu, as aforementioned, got some good money from us. But besides that, the Rams and the Panthers, not one, but 2 guards each. Kevin Dotson, 3 years, $48 million.
Show me the money.
Jonah Jackson, 3 years, $51 million.
Show me the money.
For the Rams, go, take it. Damian Lewis, 4 years, $53 million.
Show me the money.
Robert Hunt, 5 years, $100 million.
Show me the money!
Interior defensive lineman on the other side. Well, if you're going to pay the offensive interior lineman, you got to pay the defensive ones to go against them. Justin Matabuki re-signed with the Ravens, 4 years, $98 million.
Tell them to bring me my money.
Christian Wilkins, the Massachusetts native, 4 years, $110 million.
Tell them to bring me my money.
Leonard Williams, back with the Seahawks, 3 years, $64.5 million. And Grover Stewart, have you heard of him? It doesn't matter, because he just got 3 years and $39 million to stay with the Colts.
Tell them to bring me my money.
The running backs, Josh Jacobs gets paid. The Packers say sayonara to Aaron Jones and say hello to Josh Jacobs. 4 years, $48 million contract with a 12.5 signing bonus.
What the hell?
But put on the glasses. That is the only guaranteed money he's getting. It says 4 years, 48 mil. It's not. That's just for formalities. Every other year is no guaranteed money. They can say see you later next year, after next year if they want. And that's where it starts getting bad. The running backs not getting anything, not getting paid at all. There's a lot of them. Aaron Jones, 1 year, 6 mil from the Vikings after getting released by the Packers. Derrick Henry, 2 years, 16 mil for the former MVP caliber running back. Tony Pollard goes to the Titans, 3 years, $24 million. DeAndre Swift, Pro Bowl caliber running back, same deal as Pollard, 3 years, 24 mil with the Bears. You think Devin Singletary did well in Houston last year?
It doesn't matter what you think.
3 years, 16.5 mil with the Giants. Gus Bus Edwards, 2 years, 6.5 million with the Chargers.
Please, sir, I want some more.
What?
And the only running back that got paid? The only team that doesn't even use a running back to score touchdowns. Saquon Barkley to the Philadelphia Eagles on a 3-year, $37.5 million deal.
You finally just go, yeah, you know, good luck. You're going to need it. I'm going to be over here, like, winning.
And somehow, the 49ers and Chiefs have next to no money, negative money, and they still find a way to spend money. The Chiefs, Chris Jones, 5 years, $158.75 million with $60 million guaranteed. Are you kidding me? But no, that's not it. Let's bring back Drew Tranquill, a solid defensive player who helped them make their run to the Super Bowl this past year. 3 years, 19 mil. And the 49ers, no, we can't afford to extend Ayuk. We're already paying all of these players, Nick Bosa, Deebo Samuel, you name it, we're paying them. But no, we can afford Leonard Floyd, a 2-year, $20 million deal. We can afford Yetur Gross-Matos, 2 years, 18 mil. Where are they getting this money? I don't know, but it's happening. It's real life, and we have to live with it and deal with it. In other news, the Steelers made a couple of moves to finish 9-7 again, and not go anywhere in the playoffs. They bring in Russell Wilson on a veteran minimum. Yeah, 6 years ago, this would have been great. Well, Russell Wilson sucks now. They also brought Patrick Queen in, who I feel bad for. One of the best linebackers in the league is now stuck in Pittsburgh in mediocrity. The Bears, along with them bringing in DeAndre Swift, brought in Gerald Everett on a 2-year, $12 million deal to be another weapon for probably Caleb Williams next year. And on the defensive side, they signed Jalen Johnson to a big contract, 4 years, $76 million. Didn't want to lose him. One of the top corners in the game, bring him back. Also bringing Kevin Byard, 2 years, $15 million. Yeah, he's washed up, so that's probably a waste of money. And knowing the Bears, Jalen Johnson probably was a 1-year wonder and is going to fall off. But we'll see. The Bears love to joke around and not be serious. We'll see how that goes. The Buccaneers bring back Mike Evans and Baker Mayfield. Evans, 2-year, $41 million, dollar deal. And as soon as he re-signed, you could have guessed, Baker Mayfield came back, 3 years, $100 million deal. He finally gets his bag he's been chasing since the Browns nearly ruined his career. And who got free from the torture they've been living in for the past 4 years? Xavier McKinney finally got saved by the Packers and is out of the New York Giants system. He got paid to replace Darnell Savage, who went to the Jaguars at the safety position, and who thought they were getting saved, but just found a same crap reality. Brian Burns, on the Carolina Panthers. They didn't want to pay him. They franchise tag him, trade him to the New York Giants. Tough for Brian Burns. You think he's good, he's not. But he did get paid 5 years, $150 million. But just a quick side note before we end it up here. The Panthers are just such a joke of a franchise. Brian Burns could have been traded at the 2022 trade deadline for 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick from the Rams. The Panthers are like, no, we're all set. We'll keep him. Trade him for a second and a fifth-round pick today. With Christian McCaffrey, also traded for a second and a fifth-round pick. Christian McCaffrey is a Hall of Fame caliber player, if you hadn't noticed. They go in the draft. They draft Bryce Young, have already ruined his career in 1 year, basically, without giving him any weapons. Besides that, he looks like complete crap anyways. Just a joke of a franchise. Hey, Patriots fans, we can say we're a joke, but we are not as nearly close of a joke to the Panthers. There's some bright spots on our team. We're on the come up. A lot of stuff is going to go down within the next week. We'll be fine. Just keep on listening and I'll let you know what's going on. Until next time, I'll catch y'all.